Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and these are the headlines that we're tracking this evening. 15 people killed and over 100 injured as cyclone ROANU makes landfall along the southern coast of Bangladesh. In India, one person killed in Hyderabad and several injured as thunderstorms caused destruction. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Harish Rawat meets BJP MP Tarun Vijay, condemns mob attack on him at Chakrata. Assam Chief Minister designate Sarbananda Sonowal calls infiltration and sealing borders with Bangladesh top priority, says his government will tackle the task within 2 years. And the nation remembers former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi on his 25th death anniversary. The President, Vice President and Congress Chief Sonia Gandhi paid tributes at Veer Bhumi. Our top story this evening, cyclone ROANU made landfall in Bangladesh's Chittagong coast, killing at least 15 people and injuring over 100. Thousands of people also fled to safe areas as heavy rains triggered landslides. Most places in Bangladesh saw rain and thunder showers.
Stormy winds ranging from 60 to 80 kilometers per hour lashed coastal areas of Chittagong and Patokali of Bangladesh on Saturday. Tens of thousands of people fled to safety as cyclone ROANU made landfall. Heavy rains along with squall triggered landslide, killed 5 people and injured over 100 in Bangladesh. Most places in Bangladesh have been witnessing rain and thunder showers accompanied by gusty and squally winds. Several hundred village huts were blown away in the southwestern coastal region. Flight services were also suspended and movement of ships and ferries stopped. The cyclone also caused havoc in Hyderabad. One person was killed and several were injured as winds with speed of up to 50 kilometers per hour and thunderstorms caused dramatic destruction. 5 cars parked outside a car showroom were crushed by a huge hoarding that fell on them due to heavy winds in the Banjara Hills area. No one was injured in the incident. Cyclone ROANU is now moving towards northeastern states and is expected to develop into a severe cyclonic storm. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, a pervasive heat wave gripped many parts of India with temperatures crossing 45 degrees Celsius. Rajasthan's Palori village registered the maximum temperature of almost 51 degrees, forcing people to stay indoors. The Jammu and Kashmir government ordered schools to be closed in the Jammu region due to the sweltering heat.
India is battling a pervasive heat wave. Rajasthan's Palori village recorded country's highest temperature, a scorching 51 degrees Celsius for the second day in a row. Northern and western states continued to swelter in intense heat, with the mercury hovering around 45 degrees Celsius in several parts.
राजस्थान में पारा 48-49 कई जगह पहुंचा है और फलौदी एक स्टेशन है वहां तो 50 के आंकड़े को भी पार कर चुका है। 50.5 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड आज फलौदी में इस सीजन का सबसे ज़्यादा गर्म दिन रहा और तापमान रहा।
Residents in Falodi were seen taking refuge under trees as the scorching sun is in no mood to give any respite to the people. Normal life was severely affected. Electricity and water supply shortages also added to their woes.
नगर पालिका का दायित्व है गांव में छिड़काव करे, सड़कों पर पानी का छिड़काव करे, टैंकर भेजे, पानी नहीं आ रहा है, गर्मी में बेहाल हो रहा है, लाइटें नहीं रह रही है।
Gujarat also experienced a record high of 48 degrees Celsius, breaking the 100-year-old record. 4 people died due to the intense heat, taking the total number of deaths to 8 in this season.
गर्मी की वजह से दोपहर में बाहर निकलना मुश्किल हो गया है। रात को सोते वक्त भी ज़्यादा गर्मी लगती है और बाहर निकलते कुछ ज़रूरी काम हो फिर भी सोच समझ के बाहर निकलना पड़ता है। कोई काम रुक जाते हैं, बहुत से काम रुक जाते हैं गर्मी की वजह से।
Several cities in Madhya Pradesh also faced extreme heat. Roads were deserted after midday as people found it difficult to continue with their work. The Ministry of Earth Sciences has attributed the overall hotter climate to the El Nino effect that leads to warm sea surface temperatures of the Pacific and scorching weather across Asia and East Africa. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A prominent social activist today started a 5-day campaign from Latur to create awareness in drought-affected areas. Led by Rajendra Singh of Jal Biradri and Yogendra Yadav of Swaraj Abhiyan, the Jal Hal Padyatra is focused on educating people about the recent Supreme Court judgment on the relief they are entitled to from the government. The campaign will cover areas in Marathwada and Bundelkhand that are among the worst affected. Activists started off today with a public meeting in Latur in Maharashtra. Swaraj Abhiyan had filed a petition that sought the Supreme Court directions to the centre to take effective measures in the drought-affected areas.
गांव-गांव में पैदल जा रहे हैं, लोगों के पास सूचना लेके जा रहे हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश के बारे में, लोगों के पास संकल्प लेके जा रहे हैं कि हम आगे से भूख और प्यास से इस देश से दुष्काल में किसी को पीड़ित नहीं होने देंगे।
Uttarakhand Chief Minister Harish Rawat today met BJP MP Tarun Vijay, who was attacked by a mob on Friday at Chakrata. Rawat condemned the incident, saying attacks on the basis of caste and religion were unfortunate in the 21st century.
Uttarakhand Chief Minister Harish Rawat on Saturday met BJP MP Tarun Vijay, who was attacked by a mob during a visit to a temple along with a Dalit leader. Rawat assured strict action against the guilty. Calling the incident unfortunate, Rawat made it clear that such incidents will not be tolerated.
कमिश्नर गढ़वाल को डिप्यूट किया है, वो वहाँ पहुँच गए होंगे, डीएम एसएसपी भी वहाँ गए थे, बट दे आर द डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। एक फर्स्ट हैंड रिपोर्ट कमिश्नर गढ़वाल की आने दीजिए एंड विल टेक ऑल स्ट्रिंजेंट एंड स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट एक्शन पॉसिबल।
टीम कॉन्स्टिट्यूट किया गया है रेवेन्यू पुलिस का मदद के लिए, उसमें हमारा सीओ वगैरह है और 2 थानाध्यक्षों को भी लगाया गया है। जो भी इसमें कल्प्रिट्स सामने आएंगे उनके खिलाफ वैधानिक कार्रवाई की जाएगी। पुलिस का इसमें पूरा मदद रहेगा टू रेवेन्यू पुलिस।
Rajya Sabha MP Tarun Vijay suffered serious injuries after he and some Dalit leaders were pelted with stones at the Silgurdeta temple in Chakrata on Friday. The mob was protesting their visit to a temple where entry of backward castes are prohibited.
फिलहाल मैं खुशनसीब हूँ, मैं सुरक्षित हूँ और यहाँ पहुँच गया। माननीय सांसद साहब के सर में काफ़ी ब्लीडिंग हुई। शुक्र ये है ऊपर वाले का कि हम लोग जो है बेहोश नहीं हो पाए।
After the incident, the BJP slammed the state government over the law and order situation.
वहाँ पर मारामारी हुई है, इससे लगता है कि कानून की विफलता है वहाँ पर, और वो लंगड़ी सरकार है, किसी तरीके से चल रही है।
Tarun Vijay was on a campaign to allow Dalits into temples in the Jaunsar Bawa region. More than 300 temples reportedly banned the entry of Dalits. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, on the 5th day of his maiden visit to India, Apple CEO Tim Cook met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and discussed possibilities of manufacturing and tapping the young talent pool in the country. Cook highlighted the immense potential for development of applications in the country and also launched an updated version of the Narendra Modi mobile app. Cook has already announced setting up of an app development center in Bengaluru and one for maps in Hyderabad. The meeting comes at a time when Apple is looking for new growth markets after posting its first ever decline in iPhone sales.
तो टिम कुक जी ने उस ऐप को देखा और बहुत प्रसन्न हुए और उन्होंने कहा कि हम इसको अभी लॉन्च करते हैं जिससे वो सभी लोगों को लाभ दे सके, सभी लोग उसको अपने फोन्स पे डाउनलोड कर सकें।
Assam's Chief Minister designate Sarbananda Sonowal says infiltration and sealing of the borders with Bangladesh will be a top priority for his government. Sonowal said the task is likely to be completed in the next 2 years. He also said that the final draft of the updated National Register of Citizens in Assam will help identify citizens and infiltrators. Outlining other plans for the state, he claimed the India-Bangladesh border will be made into a tourist spot. Sonowal, who steered the BJP to a victory in the state elections, had made infiltration one of the major planks of his election campaign. And Kerala Chief Minister designate Pinarayi Vijayan met CPIM's senior-most leader and campaign leader V.S. Achyutanandan in Thiruvananthapuram on Saturday. Vijayan, accompanied by party state secretary K. Balakrishnan, met Achyutanandan at his official residence and invited him for the swearing-in of the LDF on the 25th of May. Vijayan also called on outgoing Chief Minister Oommen Chandy. Meanwhile, party stalwart V.S. Achyutanandan, who stepped down as leader of opposition of the Kerala Assembly, said he will continue to be in the role of a sentinel for the people of Kerala. Achyutanandan was elected from the Malampura constituency in Palakkad by a margin of over 27,000 votes. Now, all 5 militants were killed in an encounter with security forces today in Jammu and Kashmir's Kupwara district. 2 army jawans were injured in the gun battle that broke out between security forces and militants in Chekdurmulla, Kupwara. A joint team of the police, army and CRPF tried to cordon off a village in the Kupwara district when the hold-up militants started firing at them. 5 AK-47 rifles and other arms and ammunition have been recovered from the killed militants. A 23-year-old Congolese national was allegedly beaten to death by 3 men in New Delhi on Friday night. The deceased, M.T. Olivia, was beaten up with stones in the Vasant Kunj area of the capital late last night after an argument over hiring of a 3-wheeler auto rickshaw. The police has arrested 1 person and is looking for the other 2. The police has filed a case of murder.
सीसीटीवी फुटेज में कुछ हमें पता लगा, उसको फर्दर डेवलप किया हमने। डेवलप करके मोबिन आइडेंटिफाई हो गया, तब इसको मोबिन को उठाया और मोबिन ने ही फिर बताया कि हाँ बाकी ये 2 मेरे साथी, ये भी मेरे साथ। नहीं, एक ही पत्थर उठा के मार दिया, सर में मार दिया, बड़ा पत्थर मारा। वो पत्थर भी हमें मौके से मिल गया, उस पर ब्लड लगा हुआ है।
The nation today marked the 25th death anniversary of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, with several leaders paying homage at his memorial at Veer Bhumi in Delhi. President Pranab Mukherjee, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari, Congress President Sonia Gandhi, accompanied by Party Vice President Rahul Gandhi, daughter Priyanka Gandhi and son-in-law Robert Vadra, paid tributes to the late leader at his memorial. Senior party leaders, including former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, Ghulam Nabi Azad, Ahmed Patel, Sushil Kumar Shinde, PC Chako, Sheila Dikshit and DPCC President Ajay Makan, among others, also paid tributes to the former Prime Minister. Rajiv Gandhi, the 6th Prime Minister of India, was assassinated on the 21st of May 1991 at Sri Perumbudur in Tamil Nadu during an election campaign. The Indian Youth Congress organized an event, Hum Mein Hai Rajiv, at Indira Gandhi Stadium in Delhi. Congress President Sonia Gandhi and many other senior party leaders were present at the event. Addressing the gathering, Sonia Gandhi stressed the need for social harmony while stating that no failure is permanent and that success achieved by discarding basic principles does not stay for long.
नफरत और आतंक का कारोबार चलाने वाली ताकतों ने राजीव जी को हमसे जरूर छीन लिया, लेकिन उनके विचारों और सिद्धांतों को ये ताकतें हमसे कभी नहीं छीन सकेंगी।
Now let's take you nationwide for some other national news and updates. By-poll to the Anantnag Assembly constituency will take place on the 19th of May to fill the vacancy created by the death of former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and MLA Mufti Mohammad Saeed. The Election Commission had earlier postponed the by-poll that was originally slated for the 16th of May after the state government flagged law and order issues. CBSE declared Class 12 results today. Sukriti Gupta from Montfort School in Ashok Vihar, the topper, scored 497 marks out of 500. CBSE exams were held from the 1st of March to the 22nd of April this year. Over 10,60,000 candidates took the exam. Eleven persons were killed and several injured when a state transport bus fell into a deep gorge in the Theog subdivision of Shimla district. 4 people died on the spot and 7 others succumbed to their injuries on the way to hospital. The district administration provided immediate relief of 50,000 rupees to the families of the deceased. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Life after death was a cardinal belief in the Harappan civilization. Reflecting this is the skeleton of a middle-aged woman with gold bangles. Excavated from Rakhigadi in Haryana, it's an example of the burial practices in those times. Much like the Egyptian mummies, vessels, eatables, ornaments were kept near the dead body, in the hope that they would be of use to the person in the next world.
prolific British poet and story writer Joseph Rudyard Kipling, one of the first masters of short stories in English. In 1894 appeared his Jungle Book, which became a children's classic all over the world. Kim, the story of Kimball O'Hara and his adventures in the Himalayas, is perhaps his most felicitous work published. Set in and concerned with India he had come to know and love so well. In 1907, Kipling became the first English language writer to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature.
The extra heat which was put in this Earth system, 93% of that heat is stored in the oceans. If we can figure out how we can extract the fresh water from the ocean, a lot of our drinking water problems will get solved.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Satish C. Shenoy, Director, National Institute of Ocean Technology, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now, even as Sri Lanka grapples with one of the worst floods in over 25 years, foreign aid has started arriving in the island nation. India and Japan have sent aircrafts with relief material. Meanwhile, the death toll due to the landslides and floods has gone up to 71.
Foreign aid started arriving in Sri Lanka on Saturday, bringing help to 500,000 people rendered homeless by heavy rains. India sent a military plane carrying emergency supplies to Colombo, while Japan also rushed in aid on a commercial flight.
The load that we are carrying from here is mainly medicines, water purifiers and disease set and all. The rest of the load that we'll be picking up from Chennai is mainly the tentage, basically, which will be used by those people who are recovered from the flooded area.
Sri Lanka's Navy and the Air Force are carrying out rescue operations in some of the worst hit areas. President Maithripala Sirisena pledged to provide the maximum amount of relief to those affected by the floods.
ඇතිවී තිබෙන මේ අයහපත් පීඩාකාරී තත්ත්වයට මුහුණ දී සිටින ජනතාවට කළ හැකි රජයේ උපරිම සහන සුබ සාධන කටයුතු සැලසීම.
කට්ටියට උඩෙන්න කට්ටියට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. කොහොම හොඳට ඉන්නවා. කරදරයක් නැහැ. හැබැයි තවත් වතුර එන්න පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩි වෙනවා මිසක් මේ අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ තවත් වහින්න ඇතුළේ තිබුණොත් වතුර ටික අඩු වෙනවා.
Heavy rains pounded Lanka since last weekend, forcing over 3 lakh people out of their homes. The rains also triggered huge landslides, killing at least 71 people. Hundreds are still missing. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, Egypt's military continues its search for the debris on Saturday for a missing Egypt Air flight MS-804 that crashed in the Mediterranean Sea on the 19th of May. Meanwhile, leaked data has reportedly emerged indicating that the flight was on fire before it plunged into the sea.
Even as the search for the crucial black box continues, investigators feel they are closer to piecing together the final moments aboard flight MS-804. Smoke detected inside the cabin before the plane crash seemed to indicate a fire incident on the plane. Reports say smoke alarm sounded almost 3 minutes before the plane started its rapid descent. Meanwhile, there were emotional scenes in Cairo as relatives, friends and colleagues gathered to grieve for the victims of flight MS-804.
نصر الطيارة اللي وقعت ديت لأن فيها ناس بني آدمين واخد بال حضرتك مهما كانت الجنسية بتاعتهم بس هم بني آدمين على الأقل ناس في توفت ليهم أهالي وليهم أسر وليهم عائلات.
طبعا أول ما سمعت الخبر اتصدمت طبعا لأن طبعا دي أرواح ومهما كان دي بشر والواحد طبعا بيزعل من أي حاجة بتحصل لأي بني آدم وطبعا بصرف النظر احنا مصريين أو مش مصريين في ركاب برضك من بره طبعا دول بشر يعني أكيد موقف يحزن.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi ordered condolences for those on board. Egyptian Prime Minister Sharif Ismail said it was too early to rule out any cause for the crash. The aviation minister said a terrorist attack seemed more likely than a technical failure, but offered no evidence. Flight MS-804 was on its way from Paris to Cairo with 66 people on board. Egypt, France and Greece are investigating together the mystery of the plane disappearance. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A man who brandished a gun near the White House was shot on Friday while President Barack Obama was out golfing. The man was taken to hospital in a critical condition. The Secret Service, which protects the president, briefly locked down the White House as a precaution. The shooting took place near the South Lawn outside the executive mansion, which serves as the home and offices of the president. The Secret Service reported on Twitter that all the people under its protection were safe. Lafayette Square, a park near the White House, was also closed to tourists. The White House has seen a number of security incidents in recent years. In April, Security Service caught an intruder climbing over the White House fence.
So as we were walking through, I look over to my right and there's a man walking towards us. So I grabbed my boyfriend's hand and I said, "Do you see that gun right there?" And so he had a gun out just in plain sight. I mean, it wasn't even hidden, wasn't anything. So he kind of like walks in between, kind of around a group of crowds, walks in between a few cars. And then we see him like walking up to the gate, and at that same time we saw the police officers come in and shoot him down.
Some international news stories now in Global Buzz. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered holding banners urging the new leader of Taiwan to recognize the 1992 consensus to bring peace and benefits to Taiwan. Demonstrators included the president of the China Union Party too. He called on the Taiwanese leader and the Democratic Progressive Party to change their stand on Taiwanese independence and refrain from creating confrontation that might endanger the people of Taiwan. Thunderstorms in South China killed 8 people, while 4 people were found missing. The press office of the Communist Party said that Jinyi was one of the worst hit areas, recording 465 millimeters of precipitation in 10 hours. The rainstorm stopped today afternoon and surpassed direct economic losses of close to 1 billion yuan. Russia proposed the US-led coalition to stage joint airstrikes on Syrian rebels from the 25th of May onwards. Such action will be coordinated with the Syrian government. But the United States said it had little interest in the idea, noting that Russia has floated similar proposals in the past. Leaders of the G7 gathered in Japan for a 2-day discussion on issues ranging from the global economy, foreign exchange rates and money laundering. The G7 policy response to anemic inflation and subdued growth has become increasingly splintered. The ministers discussed tax transparency and money laundering in the wake of the Panama Papers data leak with tax havens. Time for us to take a short break. That's lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervor dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colours of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Some sports news now. And a 5-time world champion, Mary Com's hopes of a second Olympic appearance in a row ended today after she went down in the second round of the IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. Mary Com lost 2-0 to Germany's Azize Nimani in the second round of an event where only semi-finalists will make the cut for the Rio Games. She took off aggressively, but Nimani managed to keep her at bay by fighting from a distance. Mary Com continued to be aggressive in the second round as well, connected much better, but failed to get the judges' nod, who ruled in favour of Nimani on a split decision. Nimani will next be up against top seed Davide Marzia of Italy, who defeated Hungary's Katalin Ansin. Some more sports action now in Sports Beat. Anurag Thakur is set to be unanimously elected as BCCI President at the board's special general meeting on Sunday. He will replace Shashank Manohar, who stepped down to take up the ICC chief's job. Thakur is currently serving as the secretary of the board. Sprinter Duti Chand bagged her second gold by winning the women's 200 meters race at the Taiwan Open Athletics Championship today. Duti clocked 23.52 seconds in the 200-meter sprint final to win the gold. She won a gold in the women's 100-meter dash on Friday in a slow time of 11.50 seconds, thereby failing to qualify for the Rio Olympics, for which she needed to touch 11.32 seconds. Asian Games bronze medalist Pooja Rani entered the pre-quarterfinals of the IBA Women's World Boxing Championships today. Rani recorded a hard-fought triumph over Ukraine's Maria Borutsa to advance to the 16th round. World number 1 Novak Djokovic is on a semi-final collision course with 9-time champion Rafael Nadal at the French Open. Djokovic holds 11 Grand Slam titles and is still chasing his first win at Roland Garros. He will start his campaign against Taiwan's Lu Yanhyun, while Nadal has been paired with big-serving Australian Sam Croth. Olympic sprint champion Usain Bolt has won the 100 meters as the Ostrava Golden Spike meeting with a time of 9.98 seconds. Bolt faced little competition in this annual trip to Czech event as he finished at 9.98, 0.23 ahead of Ramon Gittins of Barbados. Well, that's the news tonight. Good night.